It's time for UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza. For the next hour, we'll go in depth as we talk to your University of North Alabama Lions. UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza is brought to you by Lost Pizza Shoals, Burnley Spine and Sport, Singing River Brewery, Alabama Health Guidance, Renaissance Eye Care, Turbo Coffee, and Brown Equipment Company. Live from Lost Pizza in historic downtown Florence, here's the voice of the Lions, Benjamin Ray.
Another episode of UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza Shoals in downtown Florence. Benjamin Ray alongside Mike Ezekiel. We've got a jam-packed show tonight. We've got Javian Allen, DeMarcus Robinson, two young players that are going to stop by and chat with us. Head football coach Brent Dearman's in the house. And defensive coordinator Brock Carabeau is going to be here as well. Probably one of the most jam-packed action shows we've had. And Mike, the best thing, great food, great conversation, but we're at home inside of Brawley Stadium the next 2 weeks.
Man, home sweet home. It's good to be back. I feel like we've been on the road a lot. We've played 5 games, 4 of those away from Brawley Stadium, and now for the next 2 weeks, we get to celebrate a lot. Not only homecoming looming next week and family weekend this week, 2 exciting opponents as well in UAC competition, Central Arkansas this week and EKU next week. Not only that, but the final year at Brawley celebration continues. We're going to welcome the 2000s era back and a lot of those players. A very special week for UNA, and then, of course, homecoming looming. Very excited to be back home.
And let's talk about the honoring of the next group. We honored the 1949 to 1989 era. The first home game this week, it's the 2000s to 2009, I guess.
Yeah, I think 2010, too, can be kind of included
2010.
in that. Yeah.
And so a lot of them will be back. And there's also a special helmet they're wearing, which will be the 3rd different helmet decal this year, right?
Yes, absolutely. And this one's exciting for me because this is the one I grew up with as a kid. This is the one with the UNA, and it's got the scratch marks going through it. And I see some heads nodding. Everybody remembers that. The UNA teams from 2002 to 2004 wore that helmet. And something that's kind of interesting is we're playing Central Arkansas that week. They were a GSC opponent at the time. We hosted them in 2023, but the last time before that was 2004. And wouldn't you know it, the helmets they were wearing are the ones that we will be wearing Saturday.
Pretty cool indeed. An old Gulf South Conference rival coming to town as members of the United Athletic Conference. And Mike, they lost a lot from last year. They had a bunch of guys head to the NFL. And the best thing about where we are right now with UAC play, 7 more games to go. So there's still a lot of UAC football to play.
Yeah, once again, the schedule lines up well. And what a tough start. I mean, you get the defending champion on the road. Not an easy task for the UNA Lions. But now back-to-back weeks at home against opponents that are very comparable in a lot of ways statistically. And 2 very, very interesting games. I think this UNA team has a great opportunity here to bounce back, to start 2-1. Remember, UNA did start 3-1 last year. Another opportunity to get off to a similar start and be right in the thick of it.
It's going to be an exciting time Saturday, Brawley Stadium. And don't forget, little different this week, 3 p.m. a kickoff. We're all used to the 6 o'clock kicks. We're going to kick off a little earlier, 3 p.m. Tailgating, everything is going to start up a little bit earlier, so make sure you adjust your calendars, get there early to enjoy everything from Lion Walk. Have you done things to know the exact times yet?
That'll go out Thursday, but the big one to remember, 12:30 pep rally, 12:45 Lion Walk. Everybody loves the Lion Walk, kind of lining up there as the team comes, so that'll be at 12:45 on Saturday. Of course, kickoff at 3 o'clock.
It's going to be exciting to be at home for the 2nd time this year. We hope you'll join us inside of Brawley Stadium. All right, we've got a lot to get into this evening, so we're going to mix up the order just a little bit because a couple of the players got to get out of here tonight. When we come back after this first break, Javian Juice Allen is in the house. We're going to talk to Juice coming up next. We're off and running here from Lost Pizza Shoals. This is UNA Football Night on 93.9 The Score. Hey, Grant. Joining us here in segment number 2, here at UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza Shoals, we welcome in Javian Juice Allen, North Alabama's offensive leader, currently 8th in the league in rushing, 52 carries, 304 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns. He had another 100-yard performance this past Saturday against Abilene Christian. Juice, two-time guest, first offensive two-time guest, man. We appreciate you leading the way and joining us here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
All right. Mike, I'll let you go first because you said you wanted to ask.
Okay, I'm ready. I think everybody, this is the burning question. If you watch Saturday's game, you saw Juice Allen with a great run. He broke not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tackles, I believe, on that play at least. And then all of a sudden you just see him spin out, and he's got open space, and he goes to the end zone. I mean, it was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. So, Juice, how did you do it?
It was just a play where you keep your feet moving. You don't let your feet die, and you play harder than the people that's trying to tackle you.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, sometimes you're on a run. You want to score every time, but at some point you realize, okay, I've got to go down at some point. Let's fight for extra yardage. Was there ever that thought of, like, fighting for extra yardage, or were you trying to score the whole time?
My first thought was to get the first down because, it's third down on that play. So my first thought was to get the first down. And then once I knew I got the first down, I just kept my feet moving the whole time.
And it all worked out.
Yes, sir.
At what point did you realize it was wide open turf in front of you and you could score?
Once I completed that, spin move, I just saw it open up. And I was just like, I got to get in the end zone.
So you think to yourself, oh, man, I'm gone.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you have a favorite run of this year? We've seen you bust so many long ones this year.
My favorite run play probably was that play. Patriot Big, it's a downhill. It's a hard downhill run. You got the O-lineman moving a little bit, and I like that play because it's a hard downhill run.
Share the love with the O-line a little bit. And it's a group that's played about 7 or 8 different linemen this year, and they keep opening up holes for you. How hard have the big fellas worked?
They work real hard. It's for those guys, it's harder because they don't have stats. And a lot of people oversee the O-line. And say a quarterback gets sacked, everybody's looking at the O-line, but they never look at the hard work that they actually put in for a deep throw or a long run. So a lot of props to those guys.
Yeah, not just the offensive line, but you've also got some other players blocking on the outside receivers. And then, of course, Caleb Heatherly, who I believe is the best blocking tight end in FCS, or one of the best for sure. What's it like playing with all these skill guys? You've got a great room, from the quarterback room to the receiver room, obviously the offensive line that we just talked about. But with this offense, what's the camaraderie like, and why are you guys how are you so close-knit together?
I think it's a we mindset. Everybody wants to win as one instead of just winning individually. So, like Coach Dearman says all the time, what are you willing to do for the guys in this room? So we bring that mindset every day to fight for your brother next to you.
Coach Dearman mentioned during last week's show how big the bye week was for you, just referencing how many hits you've taken from all the touches you've had this year. And in your workhorse, I know you take care of your body in the offseason, in season as well. But give us some insight into what you have to do off the field week in, week out as a running back to keep yourself fresh to get 20 touches a game.
So I usually wake up typically really early compared to a lot of guys. I stretch every morning, foam roll, lacrosse ball, all those type of things. Make sure I eat the right things, and I definitely make sure I sleep a great amount.
Yeah, and those are all very key things to do. Stay hydrated, stay well rested, stretching, all of that is good. Something I want to ask you, I want to go back through your whole college career because you weren't always a running back.
Right.
You started as a defensive back, and what was the transition like once you started moving into running back?
The transition was kind of weird, I'm not going to lie, because growing up, my dad always wanted me to be a safety. So since I was young to now, I really never got the ball when I was younger. My dad always made me either block or play defense. So me getting the ball in my hand, it's like a culture shock for me. It's a lot of pressure to have the ball in your hand because everybody is trying to do one thing, that's to get the ball on the ground. So the transition was kind of crazy, but I'm loving it now. So.
Well, we sure do enjoy watching you run here at UNA. I want to ask you about a couple of your teammates. Mike alluded to this too. You mentioned kind of team success. You all work together as one. Jalen Daniels had a big time inside of Brawley Stadium last time out against Northeastern State. 5 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. And that was an emotional touchdown for him, right? His first since he broke his leg back in 2023. Broke it twice. But you all as his teammates, how pumped were you when he started that sideline strut after getting that emotional touchdown?
I think it means a lot for everybody on the team, not just on the team, but a lot of people that watch the games. Watch him overcome those injuries, especially being that I wasn't here when that happened, and to watch him every day to work and get through that, it means a lot to us.
Yeah, and one guy I want to ask you about, just going back to your ties at your previous school, JP, Justin Pegues, who's now here. I think you've known him a long time. What's it like having him at UNA now and being together again?
Me and JP were in the same room at Tennessee Tech, so we both were running backs. So we grew to know each other a lot. I trust him to block for me on the edge, and I'm going to block for him. And that's just a guy I'm going to go to war with every week and every day, just because I know him on a personal level and on the football side of things. So, yeah.
What's been your touchdown strut? You guys celebrate with we've been working on what to call it that Coach Tiger has down there, the marching band baton. Do you have a go-to?
Nah, not really. I really don't have a go-to.
You don't have a go-to?
Nah.
Who's had the best celebration? Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah. I say the most excited team was for a guy was Noah Gregg's touchdown.
Yes.
So I got to be one of those. Probably LT. LT did a little dance in the end zone. So I give it to LT too.
Last question for me, obviously. How excited are you going to be, hopefully, to do more of that this week as we look ahead to Central Arkansas? We're back home. It's got to be exciting to know that you're back at Brawley Stadium in a big-time game and hopefully doing more celebrations.
Yes, sir. So I said it last time I was here. It's a privilege to play the last season in Brawley. This is the last one, and we take pride of going out with a bang in Brawley. So,
yeah.
Juice, we got to get you out of here. You got another appointment, but introduce us to our next guest. First time chatting with him here on the show. He's new to UNA. He's been leading the defense, had an interception, a couple double-digit tackle performances. DeMarcus Robinson.
Yes, sir.
What's he brought to this team? Is he a hard hitter?
Yeah, D-Rob brought a lot of heart to the table for this team. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy, but under that skin, there's something in there that he's going to show it every time he plays.
Has he gotten you good in practice, or have you won the battles?
I don't know about that one.
We may have to see what he says.
Yes, sir.
Juice, appreciate you, man. Let's run wild on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
It's Javian Allen, the Juice, joining us here at Lost Pizza Shoals in downtown Florence. We'll take a timeout. We're going to introduce you to DeMarcus Robinson when we come back. This is UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza Shoals on 93.9 The Score. We're back with you down here at Lost Pizza Shoals in downtown Florence for UNA football night. And we got a special guest joining us now. He's a senior linebacker from Warner Robins, Georgia, comes to UNA after starting his career at Georgia Southern. D-Rob is his nickname. We've been calling him DeMarcus Robinson, and we just got clarification. He introduces himself as D-Rob or DeMarcus Robinson, but his name is actually DeMarquius Robinson joining us. So I'm glad we got that straightened out. Back-to-back weeks, 10-plus tackles, UNA's leading tackler with 41 on the season, sixth most in the United Athletic Conference. D-Rob, it's great to chat with you here tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
Man, the last 2 weeks you have been on an absolute tear. 3 TFLs last week, first career interception at UNA. Do you feel like you've really settled into things here at North Alabama?
Yes, sir, I do. I feel like I'm just now getting comfortable. I've been getting a lot of snaps, and it's been fun to go out there and run around and get to play football.
And D-Rob, I got to say, it's been a lot of fun for us to watch you play, and even in fall camp, just watching your grit and how quick you get to the ball and your style of play. It's obvious you have a lot of passion. That showed a lot Saturday. You were all over the ball, but I want to talk about the linebacker room a little bit. You got a guy right beside you named Seth Hampton, captain. You got a great linebacker room with guys like Tango and Bishop. What's it been like being in this linebacker room?
I love being in this linebacker room. It's a lot of different guys. I go to those guys for many different reasons. Seth, he's a guy I can just ask anything. Like, I ask Seth a lot of questions. He'll tell me he never get tired of me. And I probably get on his nerves, but he answers me every time. So it's good to have him. And Tango he's just a dog. He's a different person. So it's all different types of people in the room I could just go to for different things, and it's good. It's great to have that in the room.
6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble. I mean, you've been doing it all this season. Kind of those extra stats right there. Do you have one that you like the most?
I like the tackles. The tackles the most.
Just overall tackles or tackles for loss?
Just overall tackles.
Overall tackles?
Yes,
41 tackles. Do you have a favorite one on the season?
I think it was a second or third game versus Northern, the NSU team. I had a big hit. I had a big hit. That was my favorite one.
How many of those do you have that just stick with you, but big hits like that? Couple per game?
Probably a good 2 or 3 per game.
And when you're getting up from those, are you thinking, man, I got him good?
Yes, sir, because I definitely feel it myself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And obviously, you had to be feeling yourself at this point, too, but a big play in the first half of that game with ACU. They're in the red zone driving, and you come up with a big interception to end the half. Had a pretty good return out of it as well. Nearly got to midfield. Walk us through that interception. Obviously, it was your first career. What was going through that play, and just walk us through the whole thing?
I knew I had man on the tight end. I had inside leverage on him. He got me a little bit, so I knew I had to catch up to him. The quarterback, I just seen him throw it, and I was under it, so I felt like I could jump and get it, and that's what I did.
You made a great grab on that, and defenders don't get credit for having great hands, right? Defenders and tight ends. Coach Dearman's always joking on Caleb Heatherly as well, but especially linebackers, you don't talk about hands. So you get that interception, and then you also recovered the onside kick, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like your hands are better than advertised?
Yes, sir. I can now say that. Yes, sir.
And what was going through your head on that onside kick? Take us through that process.
Kick, I really just seen him drop it. It just came to me, and I just grabbed it, and thank the Lord, it just stuck in my hands.
Talk about this because you talked about your favorite stat is the tackles. You want to rack them up, and you obviously back-to-back weeks of double-digit tackles. But one thing I want to highlight is solo tackles. Sometimes you were the only one on a tackle, and that happened 8 times, and nobody else has done that on the team this year yet. That's a lot of solo tackles. What's it like getting a solo tackle, and sometimes it could maybe save a play?
That's a fun part for me. Just knowing I got a man down one-on-one, it just shows the opponent what type of person, what type of player I am. So that's really fun when I get a solo tackle.
Let's jump into your football journey and take us back to high school. Warner Robins, Georgia. Warner Robins High School. I believe we had a defensive end several years ago from Warner Robins, Wallace Cowens Jr., if I'm getting my Georgia geography correct. But I know high school's football is very big over there. What was your high school experience like there?
I had a fun high school experience. We won a lot of games, so we was born and raised on football there. So it set me up for college in a good way.
Was linebacker always your position?
Oh, yes, sir. I actually have a school record there. for most tackles in the single season and the most tackle school history.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, easy to see why. And quickly, just to touch on Georgia Southern, while you were there, kind of similar to what UNA does with the number 44 that Jaheim Ingram wears in honor of Ronald McKinnon. You got to wear the number 0 for a game, which is kind of what Georgia Southern gives to a player that's, accountable, disciplined, unselfish, hardworking. I think all that really describes you. But what did it mean to have to wear the number 0 for a week?
It felt good, just know that's what the coaches and the guys think of me, and that's what I pride myself on, just being a better person outside of football the most, and it's a good thing to be a good player and a great person as well.
So you entered the portal from Georgia Southern. Well, why UNA? What stood out about coming here to North Alabama?
I committed even before I took a visit, for real. Just the coaching staff. I knew a teammate from back home here. Just the coaching staff. They showed me they contacted me a lot, and we had some pretty good conversations.
Yeah, let's talk about the coach that we're going to have up here in a little bit, Brock Caraboa. He's your position coach. I can remember talking to him in the spring about how excited he was about you and what you were going to contribute. What's it been like playing for Coach Caraboa?
I love Coach Caraboa. I probably get on his nerves a lot. I ask him a lot of questions, and sometimes he probably look at me like I don't know, but I love Coach Caraboa.
Give us some insight on the offense. We talked to Javian Juice Allen earlier. What's it like going against Juice in practice?
Juice is he's a hard runner. I never know what I'm gonna get with him, so I got to stay on my toes. I gotta. But it's great competition with him.
Absolutely. And final thing for me, DeMarcus. I gotta get to say that now. Glad we finally got that right and cleared that up. You played one game in Brawley so far. It was your first one. We got a big win against Northeastern State. You talked about a big play from that. You get to do that again for 2 weeks, two very big conference games, and you get to experience again the crowd. I mean, it's just an amazing community support, almost 10,000 fans at the last game. What's it like to play at Brawley Stadium based on that one game, and how excited are you to be back home? I
definitely felt the energy. I love this play. It's always good to play home in front of the fans and the teammates, students, all the community. It's definitely fun just to have that great energy around. That just helps. We feed off the energy as players, so it's fun to have that around.
41 tackles, 6 tackles for loss. Both of those lead North Alabama. 2 sacks, 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble. Is there anything that you haven't done this year that you want to do? Feels like you've done it all.
I want to get a pick 6 for sure.
Pick 6. All right, and all right. Jaheim Ingram says if he scores a touchdown, he's going to turn a backflip. Do you have a touchdown celebration pre-planned?
Not yet.
You're just going to feel it.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Game day.
I do have to say, I think you should have had a touchdown celebration at Illinois State because there was a fumble that got blown dead that you recovered. Were you scoring on that?
I definitely was scoring on it. Yes,
well, were you ready for the celebration if you would have?
No, I wasn't ready. It'll come to my head when I do it. It's just on the field.
Well, Saturday seems like a great day to get it. D-Rob, DeMarcus Robinson, UNA's leading tackler, the top dog on defense. We appreciate you stopping by and chatting with us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to stay on the defensive side of the football. We got defensive coordinator Brock Caraboa in-house. He's up next. This is UNA Football Night from All's Pizza Shoals on 93.9 The Score. Here we go. It's football, fun, and fellowship down here at Lost Pizza Shoals in downtown Florence. Benjamin Ray, Mike Ezekiel back with you. And next up, we've got defensive coordinator Brock Caraboa stopping by. And, Coach, I see you all as coaches with a lot of Lost pizza boxes. I saw Coach Cruz the other day sneaking by, going to heat some up in the microwave. How often do you all eat over here?
This is really good. This place I think it's the best in town.
What's your go-to?
The Otis.
The Otis.
Now, tonight I had a chicken salad. But I'll sneak some pizzas, and I just want to make sure everybody knows I did get some chicken salad in here.
Yeah, we all know Coach Dearman. It's well documented.
Yeah.
He's an Otis guy. It sounds like you like the Otis. Is that kind of the –
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
Coach
sausage,
Lockett's shaking his head in
pepperoni,
agreement
ham,
over there.
Yeah. And the taco pizza is good, too.
chicken spaghetti, Coach says.
The chicken spaghetti is really good. I think anything
Big
you
fan.
get here is really good. I don't think you can go wrong.
My problem is I don't want to venture away from what I love.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of great tasty.
I even had the
menu
tamales
items.
here, too.
Yeah.
That's really good, too.
Yeah.
We just chatted with DeMarcus Robinson, and great man, young man that we chatted with. He's been a big addition, 41 tackles. Did you expect him to have this kind of impact when he committed to you way back when?
Yeah, we did. Coach Dearman and I sat down, we watched his tape, and I think the first thing that stood out to us is just his twitch on tape. It looked like he was going from point A to point B and lightning fast. And when we called, when we take a transfer into the program, we just don't take any transfer. Hey, we're going to make sure he checks the boxes. So every coach that we talked to about D-Rob raved about him, and when every coach raves about him more off the field, it's going to be an easy transition for us. So we knew that he had the talent. He fits perfect with what we want to do on defense. He can play in the box, out of the box. He can cover. He can blitz. He's a young man that, man, I love coaching. He'll be in my office at 6 a.m. tomorrow asking questions and how he can best do things. And because then right when he goes from office, he goes and gets treatment and takes care of his body. So he's a winner on and off the field. I love coaching him.
Let's go ahead and clear this up for D-Rob because he said sometimes I think I bug him too much. Does he ever bug you too much?
He never bugs me too much. I want him to ask the questions because if he asks a question, it might make me think, well, it might make me, okay, maybe I need to either rephrase it or, hey, that's a good idea to make sure we bring up to the linebackers because I think as a coach, if you can get into your players' heads and what they're thinking and how they're thinking, it's going to make you a better coach and a better communicator. So he does a great job just kind of, being the one of the leaders for us in that linebacker room.
Now, Mike has been in your office. I've been in your office. And by that, I mean that was once all of our offices. We've all shared it. It now belongs to you. And so you're our next-door neighbor. You and I share a wall. And D-Rob's in there all the time. Seth Hampton's in there all the time. I can't walk by your office without seeing a player in there, watching film with you, asking questions, just sitting at your table and hanging out. And do you feel like you have a defensive unit that just loves football?
We do. I do. And credit to the players and credit to the coaching staff, on both sides. But the defensive staff, they're pushing guys in that room. We'll meet together tonight as coaches. We might have a player in there just, sitting there, trying to pick our brain. But they love football, and they want to learn. They want to grow on and off the field. And so sometimes it's not even about football. When they're in there, we're just talking. And the real thing is they're getting Gatorade or water or they're getting some, in my fridge they're still, going there and getting that stuff. So I'm like, hey, guys, hey, I'm going to drink that after practice. So, no, it's a good problem to have. I love having them in there. And, they always make the day go by a little bit better. So I love having them in there.
I will say your office looks better than when the broadcast team was in there and when Mike was in there with the equipment. It's a little cleaner and more organized.
Yeah. No, I try to make it organized. I don't like clutter. Ask Katie. I don't like clutter. And
don't come in our office.
Well, no, that's just how it is. But I was great. Coach Dearman, handed the office over and was able to not comes our defensive staff room, so I have to keep it somewhat clean because we have so many people coming in and out. So, but it's a great meeting space. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, let's talk about your coaching room a little bit. You lead a lot of those meetings in that office. There's a big conference table, and you got a great room. I mean, you start with Steve Carter, a defensive line coach that he's a UNA Hall of Famer. Everybody knows who he is, and he's been around the program a long time. And then you go down the list, and you got DeAndre Irvin, who brings the energy, Coach Locke. Talk about what this room is like and what it's like to work with them every day.
Well, they make me better, and that's the one thing. I'm always asking them questions. I'm always getting their ideas because I always say I'm 1/7, 1/8. How many guys that we have in our room? I'm 1/8 of our success and 1/8 of our failure. So I think we try to build it as everybody working together. I think start with Coach Lockett. He's a phenomenal football mind. Understands the game. Understands the pass game. Understands how to get the best out of each player. So I really enjoy working with him, and he thinks of some things some different ways. Sometimes it makes me think of a different way where we can be continue to be the best that we can in the back end. And with him in the back end, Coach Jackson, who's UNA alum, came with us this year, does a great job with our nickels, has great relationships with the players, understands what's going to get the best out of that player, and he actually runs our scout team, and he takes it personal to put some touchdowns on us in practice, which makes us a better defense, day in and day out. And Coach Irvin came with us, played under Coach Dearman. The fire and passion that he has for the game of football, second to none. Wants to absorb every single coaching detail that you give him, but also has his own ideas for us to be able to get better as well. So I enjoy working with him. He's a fiery young coach, and he wears his emotions on his sleeve in a good way because he's gonna push those safeties to be the best they can. Coach Persons, our defensive ends, defensive line coach, was with me at Tiffin. Met him on an airplane going to the coaches convention because the airplane broke down, and just happened to when I was at Kansas and he was at Tiffin, we just ended up meeting and I kind of connected, and just a great young mind, guy that we continues to grow in the profession, but he has a love for defensive line and understands the game from the front, from the front seven. Coach Carter, UNA legends, probably forgot more football than I know. Understands the wisdom that he has is helps me just as as a young football coach, understanding what it takes to be a winner, how to get the best out of guys and how to really play in that front four. We became a better defensive line because Coach Carter and Coach Persons have implemented a couple of new things. So I'm very, very grateful for those guys. And Coach Brant Smith is one of our student coaches. He does a good job. He helps me out. He's always helping the papers, getting the reports ready. Understands what it takes to help run a scout team. So he's a really good young coach that helps us out. As a defensive staff. Well, I love working with these guys.
Wrapping up with defensive coordinator Brock Caraboa. And, Coach, just give us the brief outlook on Central Arkansas. I know you guys have just started diving into them. They lost a lot of names from last year. Still some familiar names on there that people will recognize on the two deep. Yep. We know Nathan Brown's a great coach, great offensive mind. What can we expect on Saturday?
Well, when you put it on the tape, they play hard. And Coach Brown's, been there a long time, and he's indebted to Central Arkansas. He's going to go out there and make Central Arkansas put something good on tape. And when I watch their offensive line, they're physical, their quarterback headsy, their wide receivers have speed to get past you. Their running back is a thumper. He has they have a couple running back. One's a thumper, one can take it to the house. So they're going to be very well coached, just like they were the last 2 years. It's always been a battle, and I like enjoy going against them because it tests you as a coach. But looking forward to going against these guys because the strategies that they have, but expect hard-fought, tough game from these guys. I think they want to run the football and throw shots, and that's what we have to be able to defend.
Now, I do have one more question. I do this a lot. I lie. Brian Neese and I, in the hotel room, remember the Titans last week when we were in Abilene, Texas, and we kept saying all weekend, you blitz all night. Yeah. Have you given an impassionate speech like that on the field before? One of your all-time great football movie speeches?
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. I actually have you've seen in my office, the old 1971 where all those players signed, where I actually drove to T.C. Williams High School.
Wow.
And got that. So I'm obsessed with that movie. But, yeah, we've all, as all defensive coaches have, we've had that speech. Coach Persons gets pretty fired up out there too. So,
yes, he does.
But yeah, we've had that speech, over the last 3 years. But I think it just kind of comes natural if you try to make it happen. I don't know if it has the same feel. I think it just has to naturally happen, which has happened a couple times for sure.
Well, I think we all expect you to blitz all night.
Yes,
on
I will.
Saturday.
You hear that, Coach Derek?
No, we appreciate you chatting with us,
Yeah,
Coach Carabow.
appreciate. Yeah, thank you.
That's
Appreciate you
defensive
guys. Thank you
coordinator
very
Brock
much.
Carabow. We'll take a timeout. Head coach Brent Dearman joins us next. This is UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza Shoals on 93.9 The Score. We're welcoming back down to Lost Pizza Shoals in downtown Florence. This is UNA Football Night on 93.9 The Score. Benjamin Ray and Mike Ezekiel. We welcome in head football coach Brent Dearman. And, Coach, we kind of swapped the order around. Juice Allen had another appointment to go to this evening. We talked to both players, your defensive coordinator, and let's just start with the two players. Every week we've had your players come on. Juice has been a two-time guest. We got to chat with DeMarquise Robinson for the first time, but just outstanding young men, and I knew they do a great job leading both sides of the football.
Yeah, they do. They're really faces of the program. I'm going to throw some off-the-field shout-outs. I know sometimes it's cool to hear stories off the field. Both of them go to Church of the Highlands, so I know we've got some Church of the Highlands folks here. D-Rob got baptized this summer, so right before he moved in, got baptized back at home. So, like, things like that are the things that touch your heart more than anything. And at church every Sunday, he goes to college nights. Both of them do. And, man, those two guys perfectly represent what we're trying to do here at UNA.
That's what I love about this team, Coach. You got really good leaders, and you know, starting with your captains, Juice being one of those. Just a great guy off the field as he is on the field, and D-Rob, same thing, and just great competitors. And while we're talking about Juice, let's just start with that run last week. How crazy was that, watching him do that?
That was big time for a running back to continue to move your feet when everything's collapsing around you. Juice is a stout guy, but he's not a tall guy. So he kind of got lost in that shuffle, and then the seam burst out of there. There was a couple of linemen that were continuing to finish their blocks, which helped elevate that play to the next level. And it was a big moment in the game that got us to that 21-7 mark and got us to some momentum that we got to do a better job of holding on to that momentum. But Juice gave us a spark in that moment.
And then for D-Rob, 2 big plays, the interception to end the half, and then he recovered the onside kick. And we talk about non-skill guys in their hands. How about the hands from your linebacker D-Rob?
Yeah, those are 2 great plays. I mean, we're in a 2-man coverage. And when you're in 2-man, you can kind of get in trail mode is what we call it, and because the safety's over the top, so D-Rob was actually playing in a phenomenal spot in the backside hip. The quarterback underthrew it a little bit because the safety was over the top, and to make that play, next time I just need him to take it to the house to get a pick 6 there. And the onside kick, I mean, the kid had 13 tackles. He was all over the field and playing really good football right now. And we've challenged everybody. We've got to meet those guys' standard. We understand as a team we did not meet the standard of UNA football this past weekend. We had a very nice closed-door meeting today where Coach Dearman raised his voice a little bit higher than this a few times. And we let everybody know that what we put on tape, what we did this past weekend, is not okay. It's not to the standard at which this program is built on. It's not to the standard that UNA fans should expect out of us. And those guys took it and said, Coach, it won't happen again. And leaders like that stepping up in that meeting and speaking, and it was fun to see.
Coach, we talk about this a lot. Obviously, I've heard you say it quite a bit. No moral victories. We want to start getting some wins, and what a great opportunity we have the next 2 weeks. It's hard to start with the defending conference champion on the road, a nationally ranked team, but now you get a huge opportunity in front of you the next 2 weeks to play in Brawley Stadium, a whole season ahead of you, 7 games remaining, but starting with this week, a huge opportunity to build on that. How do you shift your focus back to what's ahead and not look back to what's behind?
I like your mindset a little bit, Mike, but for us, we got 1 game in front of us.
That's right.
For us, you can't look at 2 home games back-to-back. You can't look at 7 straight conference games. For us, we got to go 1-0. Our attention's fully on UCA, a team that we went there last year and lost 24-19. I think we had 5 offensive turnovers that day. We understand that it's going to be a tough dogfight at our place. We've got to represent everything that UNA football represents. We got an opportunity to play in front of the 2000s era, the alumni, the people that built this place into what it is. We got an opportunity to send Brawley Stadium off the right way with a home win. So our attention's solely on UCA and how can we show up tomorrow on a Tuesday and get better.
And how refreshing is it knowing you're at home a lot during this backstretch, on the road 4 of the first 5 games of the year, and it feels like you might lose 2 full days when you're on the road, traveling on a Friday, getting back late Saturday, getting back at it on Sunday. I mean, just how much of a grind have these first 5 weeks been with so much travel time?
It's harder, but we don't use an excuse. I mean, you look at Illinois State, I think we got back home at 4 a.m. after that game and turn the page, and I'm back in the office at 9 a.m. after a few hours of sleep. I think we get back from Abilene at 10:30, 11 o'clock. I think I was up at the office at 8. So, I mean, there's work to be done no matter if it's home or away. So now it takes a little bit more of a toll on you to play on the road so much. It's good to get those out of the way. Now we can focus on playing at home more often in some conference games. But either way, we got to go take care of business at home or away.
Yeah, and obviously starting practice this week and going into tomorrow, that'll be a big one for you, as you said. And a big opponent this week, Central Arkansas. It was kind of a rivalry back in the mid-2000s, and the 2000s players are going to be excited to see what will be a classic rival, especially with those decals on the helmet. But, Coach, talk about Central Arkansas, the respect we have for that program, and how exciting it'll be for the fans on Saturday to watch these two go at it.
A very good football program, a former Gulf South Conference foe. Their head coach played for them in the 2000s era.
Yep.
And was a quarterback for them there and was a really good player. He's done a great job as a coach there, from an OC now as the head coach there. He's an Arkansas native. He's actually from Russellville, so yep. Arkansas Tech didn't recruit him, and he ended up going to UCA. So I've known him for a while. Does a really, really good job. their defensive staff, as well as I think Ben Thomas and their DC were at Southern Miss together. So we've got a lot of connections with people on their staff. Their DB coach actually played in the same defensive backfield with DeAndre Irvin at Arkansas Tech.
Wow.
So their DB coach and our safeties coach played together. So there's a tons of connections between these two staffs, between these two schools. So we know that we've got a tough task in front of us. But you can't win on Saturday if you don't win on Tuesday. That's been our message to our guys. So we got to show up tomorrow and put a good work day in.
North Alabama and Central Arkansas this Saturday, 3 p.m. inside of Brawley Stadium. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this episode. We'll talk to Coach a little bit more about this upcoming UAC showdown on Saturday. This is UNA Football Night from All's Pizza Shoals on 93.9 The Score. Wrapping up this week's edition of UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza Shoals. Benjamin Ray, Mike Ezekiel, and the head football coach Brent Dearman in the house. The Lions continue United Athletic Conference play this Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Arkansas comes to town. And Coach, let's talk about the UAC for just a moment here as we wrap up this final segment. Second most ranked teams with the Big Sky and Missouri Valley Conference nationally. You look at the scoreboard last week, Austin Peay and West Georgia played a great ball game into the fourth quarter. Central Arkansas, Utah Tech had a good one. Southern Utah and Tarleton had a good one as well. This league is as deep as it's been in our 3 years.
It's really good, and it's just getting better every single year. You're looking at, West Georgia's come out of nowhere quickly. They do a really good job. They've got a phenomenal recruiting base there right outside of Atlanta. their staff has done a good, extremely good job of bringing in high school talent and developing. But what happened with them last week, their starting quarterback gets hurt against Austin Peay. And this game's such a QB-driven game. Austin Peay's quarterback won Player of the Week in our conference. West Georgia's quarterback gets hurt in the late third quarter, and that's when it kind of became a different ball game right there. And you're looking at Tarleton State, their quarterback's playing probably better than anybody in the league right now. They're putting up 52 points against Southern Utah. Southern Utah's quarterback has been playing really well. So I think there's a lot of very good quarterbacks in this league this year. And when you've got a QB, you got an opportunity to win ball games. So, but talent-wise, from top to bottom, Utah Tech's an improved team. Takes UCA down to the wire. From top to bottom, it's a very, very good league. But you talk about the Big Sky and all them. They usually got some bottom-tier teams in those leagues. Our league doesn't really have a bottom tier anymore where everybody can play and compete with everybody every weekend.
That's right, because you look at Southern Utah, they're I think 1-5 right now, but they are way better than their record. I'd say if they're a one-loss team, I say us and them right up there as the best of that group. I mean, just competitive, and Utah Tech, like you said, as well. So, Coach, very well-rounded, a lot of parity. And I've heard you say this before, and I agree with it 100%. I think the UAC is right there with the Missouri Valley, the Big Sky. What's it feel like knowing that we're in an elevated conference that's one of the best in FCS?
I mean, you look at the cross-conference games. I mean, we play Illinois State on the road to a 2-overtime game, and they're the third best team in their league this year. I think Southern Utah played UC Davis, and UC Davis is a top 10 team, and they were in a one-possession game. So we're playing crossover games between them, and step for step we're right there with them. So I think I've been telling everybody I think we're the second best team. Sac State leaving the Big Sky helped kind of took a bigger team out of that conference. I think we're the second best conference in all of FCS football.
Let's jump on our Burnley Spine and Sport preview, Coach. Back home at Brawley Stadium, just the second time this year. This week's opponent, Central Arkansas. Give us the keys for the game on Saturday.
We got to clean some things up offensively. Quarterback's got to come out playing better. At the end of the day, like I said about the whole league, I mean, if quarterback plays well, you got an opportunity to win games. So we're going to be hard on our guys this week. Destin is kind of a game time decision as the week goes on. If he can play, Destin's going to give us a chance. But I know we're going to challenge Ari. We're going to challenge DC, and we're actually giving our freshmen some reps this week, John Alston. So we've got to play better at quarterback. We got to take care of the football. We had 4 fumbles in that game this past week, and that's been kind of out of the ordinary with how we've been playing this season. We've got to take care of the ball. And then the challenge defensively, we're doing a pretty good job of stopping the run. We're giving up 300 yards passing, and we've got to get hands on receivers. We've got to be able to play man coverage. We can't be sitting in zone coverage all day, but we've got to get a good mix. We've got to put pressure on the quarterback. All those things are going to lead to winning football games.
Yeah, a lot of things to focus on the field, but, Coach, also the crowd. I mean, going back to the first home game, nearly 10,000 fans, clearly a home field advantage when you're playing at Raleigh Stadium. How important is it going to be for our fan base to get out there Saturday? I
mean, my 3 years being here, where we've struggled is on the road. I mean, we haven't got that signature win on the road yet, and we talked about it last week, but all of our big-time wins have come at home. I mean, we beat Chattanooga at home my first year here. We beat Abilene Christian my first year here, and that's a tribute to our fan base. That's a tribute to our band, all of our fans, all of our family that's able to come to the game. So I think our players play at another level when we're at home because of the great fan base that we do have here.
We can't wait for it. Saturday, 3 p.m., Brawley Stadium. Mike, again, Lion Walk tailgating times?
12:30, 12:45 for Lion Walk. That's when the team will arrive, 3 o'clock kickoff.
Do you like the 3 o'clock kick versus the 6 o'clock kick, or do you care? Do you just want to kick?
I like home earlier kicks. When we play a home game at 6 o'clock, I think I'm putting the kids to bed at 11:30. And it makes Sunday morning church a little bit harder. I like earlier kicks. Lets me get home and relax and actually spend some time with my kids. I think I may be in the minority, but I think college football is meant to be played at 2 o'clock.
Agreed.
I'm looking forward to it, Coach. Saturday, Brawley Stadium. We'll be there, and we'll be back with you next week here at Lost Pizza Shoals, Coach.
Yeah, I always love Lost Pizza. Brock didn't say this, but we eat Lost Pizza on Monday, and then I usually get us a chicken spaghetti tray as a staff on Wednesdays. So they feed us twice a week.
Let's go. We appreciate everybody coming out this evening. Thank you to Brock Caraboa, Seth Hampton, and DeMarcus Robinson. So for Mike Ezekiel, for Brent Dearman, for Ty Coulter, Eli Rainey, Grant Wakefield,
For
Braden
Juice
Rogers,
Allen.
for Juice Allen. Thank
Yeah,
you. I knew
Seth
I would
didn't come
forget
with us
somebody.
tonight.
I don't know why I had Seth on my mind trying to rattle off all the names.
A lot of names.
For Blair back at the station, I'm Benjamin Ray saying Roar Lions.
You've been listening to UNA Football Night from Lost Pizza. Tonight's show is brought to you by Lost Pizza Shoals, Burnley Spine and Sport, Singing River Brewery, Alabama Health Guidance, Renaissance Eye Care, Turbo Coffee, and Brown Equipment Company. Thanks for listening, and Roar Lions.